If you guys didn't know, I make music. Yes, I'm not talking Marshall censored either. I'm talking real composing. Okay, not too real because it is like all electronical, but it's, you know, I'm still doing it. You know, the notes you hear in my songs, every single note you hear I had to put down. So, if you guys haven't seen any song bracket of mine before, I've done one on J Pro and bracket of mine before. I've done one on Global. If you guys haven't seen my song brackets before, I've done one on Global Dan and J Pro. I was sitting there for a good while thinking, who else could I do one on? And you know, I thought of some names. I thought Yori was a possible one because I do listen to a lot of Yori, or at least I did. Nah, I still do. Okay, my phone's getting blown up. Man, I shouldn't have started this video now. Now I have to watch all these. Want to watch all these. If you guys don't know how a song bracket works, I'm not good at explaining it, but if you're familiar with basketball, you know how like the teams go against each other and then whatever team wins gets to go up a move along with the other team, and then the two teams that won their prior match, then they go, and then it's like a, you know, it's like a pyramid. Whatever. Here's Mr. Gigi explaining it.
If you don't know what that is, they basically picked a bunch of Kanye songs, pit them all against each other in a bracket, and you go through all the matchups and eventually come through with a champion.
Perfect. So let's start it off. Mind you, all these songs are on my SoundCloud, so if you are intrigued to hearing what these sound like, there you go. You might hear me play them if I'm using a lifeline, but that's about as much as you'll get. Plucking It All versus 50 Grand Blow. I'll have you know that Plucking It All is a song that does have lyrics to it, but I haven't made the music video for it yet. Nor is the instrumental on my SoundCloud, but you guys will hear it when that comes out. 50 Grand Blow was probably my first instrumental that I made back when I was in 8th grade that I thought, you know what, this bangs. I like the hell out of 50 Grand Blow, so 50 Grand Blow is winning this first match. Next is my song Shake It Off versus Hydra. Shake It Off does have some lyrics, but I don't think I'll be releasing it to the public just yet. I talk like a Jamaican dude in it. Hydra, I just kind of made for the funk of it. There's not much importance to Hydra, so Shake It Off takes the instrumental win. Dusty Divot versus Reminds Me. Maybe I'm thinking Reminds Me will win on this one. Dusty Divot is good, and it does have that switch up at the end. Reminds Me sounds a little more refined though. I don't know, I could probably flip a coin on. We'll go Reminds Me. Next up is Diamond versus Secret Eartones, Secret Eartones. Breather versus Midday. For some reason when I think of these songs side by side, they kind of have like the same feel to them. Midday is good. It is. But Breather though, I know for a fact I listened to Breather way more than I did Midday. Breather I probably listened to a good, I don't know, few hundred times on repeat. And that was before I even published it to SoundCloud. When I was just listening to it off Auxy, man, I listened to it hundreds of times while I was building the hotel in Minecraft. Yeah, we'll go Breather. Breather wins. Ooh, Sino versus Antidote. Antidote wins. Sino hasn't come out yet, but it will come out soon. Sino's got a pretty good backstory to it too, but Antidote just is, as my homeboy Caleb W once put it, a masterpiece. Not Deep versus Joker. Maybe not. I made Joker in 2019, and it's pretty good. Yeah, Not Deep wins. I wish I worked on Joker a little more, but I didn't. Return versus History Teacher Reversed. I'm thinking History Teacher wins this one. History Teacher had a lot of work put into it, and then when I got the idea to reverse it, it sounded even better, so History Teacher Reversed wins. Moving on to the second half of round one, we have Concrete Stepping versus Was. Concrete Stepping is pretty good. Was is like my only kinda lovey-dovey song, if you will, and I'm picking Was. Screw it. Americo versus Noidakai. I don't know, Noidakai was like my first song to really be my transitional period, so I'm picking that one. Bathhouse Demo versus Closefield. Closefield wins by a long shot. Bathhouse Demo was made at kind of like a, not necessarily a low point in my life, but it just wasn't, you know, Since Day One versus Craveable. Craveable obviously wins. Since Day One is a good beat, but Craveable just makes me feel so much better. Farlands versus Stand Taller. Stand Taller was made in 2021, while Farlands was made late 2022, seeping into 2023. And Farlands is kind of an ambitious song because there's literally 4 instrumentals jammed into one song in that song. So Stand Taller is pretty damn good, but Farlands I think I prefer in this case. But Stand Taller is good. There was a version of it before, it was called Stand Tall, but then when I published it to SoundCloud, I realized there was just something missing from it, so I took it down, funked with it a little bit, and the second version came out of Stand Tall. Cables Around versus Turn Back. Cables Around wins. Cables Around I made within the last month, and it's just such a dark feeling song. I think it's so good, man. Shout out Caleb, man. The main lead that plays throughout that was made by Caleb, and holy shite, man, just what a good song. Their Fortress versus No Caller ID. Their Fortress. Ding versus Trait. Trait wins. Holy shit, we're already moving on to round 2. To start off round 2, we have 50 Grand Blow versus Shake It Off. I'm thinking, frick. I need to sip my tea here. You know what? I'm gonna go Shake It Off for this one, just because Shake It Off, I've never been able to recreate a song that kind of sounds like it. 50 Grand Blow is a really easy song, really simple song, but it's still, you know, it still bangs. Shake It Off though, I do really like the sound of Shake It Off, and I wish I was able to actually use it in a way that I don't have to sing in a Jamaican accent in it. Next is Reminds Me versus Secret Eartones. I think Reminds Me will win. Secret Eartones is good, but again, it's very simple, and it's like a house song, right? Reminds Me, yeah, whatever, I'll give it to Reminds Me. And Reminds Me was also made early August, so it's a pretty recent song. While Secret Eartones was made sometime last summer. And not the summer that just passed, it's like summer 2023. Breather versus Sino. Wait. I knew someone was wrong about that. Yeah, Antidote's supposed to be on this. Nice try. Breather versus Antidote. Breather would have won had it been just a little more, had there been just like a little more like variety in it. There doesn't necessarily need to be, but Antidote, when you put them together, Antidote is, it clearly comes out on top. Joker versus History Teacher reversed. So I actually messed up here. It's supposed to be Not Deep versus History Teacher, but I wrote Joker by accident. It was Joker versus Not Deep, and I picked Not Deep, but unfortunately I ended up writing Joker here. And if it was Not Deep, I actually don't know which one would have come out on top. And it probably would have just messed up the whole flow of just this whole bracket here. But for now, we'll just say that even if Not Deep was on the board, we'll just say History Teacher would have taken it over. We'll just say that. I'm giving it to History Teacher reversed. I'm just gonna start labeling it as History Teacher because we know it's History Teacher reversed. There is a version on my SoundCloud where it is the regular History Teacher, but that's but I like to think as the reversed version to be the final version. Moving on to the second half of round 2 is Was versus Noidakai. I'm thinking of picking, I gotta listen to a little bit of Noidakai. This is my first lifeline. Was made about someone, if not for someone, while Noidakai was made when I was still just a free-minded young boy. So, you know what? I'm giving it to Noidakai. Closefield versus Craveable. I'm thinking Closefield wins this one. Keep in mind, Closefield is only like a few weeks old. Craveable is also really good, but Closefield just makes me want to just dance like this whenever I'm listening to it. Like that. Yeah, I'm giving it to Closefield on this one. Sorry, Craveable, you are a good song, but Closefield, you're pretty damn good. And it's a remix to the best part in Farlands, so it makes it even better. I was always waiting for the day where I'm able to remix that one part in Farlands, and the fact that it is now Closefield today, I like the hell out of it. Also, if you guys haven't connected the dots, Farlands, Closefield, they're just the opposites. Stand Taller versus Cables Around. I'm gonna go Cables Around, I think. Wait, didn't I give it to... I did give it to Farlands. What the frick? This is the second time I've done this. Now this kind of changes things because I think I might give it to Farlands rather than Cables Around. Is that a bug? No, it's just a lint. It scared me for a second. I was like, there's no way I have lice at 20 years old. Nor was it in my hair, it was in my ear. Anyways, see, Farlands get some points deducted because I hate how it ends. It ends way too, not abruptly, it just ends. I just don't like the ending to it, which might make it the only reason that Cables Around takes the cake. I think it does. Their Fortress versus Trait. Trait was also made in like the span of a night. It reminds me of like old mini clip games. And the cover of it is actually Commando, if you guys remember that game. And holy shite, we're moving on to round 3. Okay, round 3, you guys. Here we have Shake It Off versus Reminds Me. I think I need another lifeline. I also just love how like instantly the song starts and Reminds Me, especially with these clickety clackety arse drums. I think I'm gonna pick Reminds Me. Reminds Me wins. Antidote versus History Teacher. Antidote wins. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Antidote wins this whole thing. Moving on to the next side of round 3, we have Nordikai versus Closefield. This one I don't even need to put much thought into it. Closefield wins. Closefield is a good damn song. Next up is Cables Around versus Trait. I also missed a period in Trait, so whatever. You know what? I'm giving it to Cables Around because Halloween is right around the corner and this song is just pretty perfect for that dark feel that you want for Halloween. Cables Around it is. And I believe this is what we call the quarterfinals, when there's 4 songs remaining and we see which one wins out of the 2. I mean, whatever. Reminds Me versus Antidote. Antidote wins because Reminds Me, again, it doesn't feel perfect to me. It is good, but it doesn't. There are still some parts to it where I wish I would have changed it up a bit more. Like when I was making Reminds Me, I felt like there was still something missing. You know, I felt like I could have just made something punchier, but I just couldn't find a way to do it. Meanwhile, Antidote feels like it was all perfect if everything's in its right place. So Antidote wins. Next up is Closefield versus Cables Around. Man, I already know which one I'm picking. It is Closefield. I'm picking Closefield. It's just such a good remix and I wish that it was longer. I know I'm the creator of it, but man, what a good damn song. Now, that leads us to the final 2 songs. I don't have to look at the songs either because they're Antidote versus Closefield. Man, I think I need to lifeline this. Man, I think I already know my answer. See, both these songs, you look at them next to each other and they're not in the same realm. One of them takes you on a journey and the other one's a remix, you know? So it's like, it's not really fair to put them up against each other, but they are put up against each other right now. And you know what, man? Closefield wins. I seriously was not expecting that, seeing as the fact that Closefield is a really recent song and it was made fairly fast. Usually my songs take like months for me to actually like perfect, but Closefield was kind of just straight to the point. And well, I mean, it just won. Maybe that'll change over time with more of my songs coming out, and maybe this whole board would have just looked completely different had I done it again. That's what I wondered too. If you were to mix up just the whole arrangement of all the songs, how do we know that the same song is gonna come out on top? There's no way, right? So one day I know I'm going to redo a song bracket on Global Dan, and I'm going to redo a song bracket on J Pro just to see which one actually comes out on top. I don't know though, but you know what? Close field wins the cake. Well, was that enjoyable? I got to, you know, I guess toot my own balls for a moment, look at all my songs, pin them against each other, see which ones I like more. Let me know if you're a Marshall Acosta fanatic listener in the comments below. Let me know if you know any of these songs. Let me know if any of the matchups you would have picked differently. Let me know in the damn comments, you guys. I want to know what you pricks think about my music. Do you guys think Close Field is a fair answer to put at the end? I think it's pretty safe to say though that Antidote is damn close to being that number one. But unfortunately Close Field just makes me feel way too good, while Antidote it brings me on a journey. So there you guys have it. There you guys have it. There is the Marshall Acosta Song Bracket. Should I make a thumbnail face? I don't know. What should I do? Should I smile really hard? Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make both my teeth missing. That'll be my thumbnail face. Alright, you got that? Or well, thank you guys for watching this. This was my Marshall Acosta Song Bracket video. See you guys around. Leave a dislike. Add this video to your favorites. Add it to your
watch laters. Dislike it. I like it.
I'll see you guys around. I have some tea to sip now. Oh, it tastes like piss.